evening. Welcome to New Life Lutheran Church, where everybody is somebody and Jesus Christ is Lord. Welcome to the beginning of the holy days. It's Maundy Thursday or Holy Thursday. We remember Jesus' Last Supper with his disciples. He also washed the feet of his disciples, and then some other things happened on that Thursday night, which we'll remember later. But here's a little bit of a trivia quiz. Now, we call it the Last Supper, and it becomes for us a holy meal. But Jesus and his disciples, they are celebrating what holiday for them? Passover, yes. Well, I learned this today because Monica in our office, she is Jewish, as is her family. And tonight, Jewish people in temples all over are celebrating Passover. And she says to me, isn't that neat, Pastor Rockel, that we're going to be in the temple celebrating Passover, and you all are going to be here celebrating the Last Supper? And we looked at it and said, it's not that hard, folks, right? We can get along in this world and be excited for each other in the ways we find meaning, even though it might be a little bit different. So I just lift that up for us all, that a lot is going on in our community tonight that's holy and meaningful, and somehow we are all siblings through it all. So it's the beginning of these holy days, Maundy Thursday. Tonight will end with the stripping of the altar. It ends in silence. And then tomorrow, the service continues. Good Friday picks up where we left off, and we mark the day of Jesus' death. And that service also ends in silence and in darkness. And then Easter sunrise is the conclusion of this very long service, and we'll gather out in the narthex and we'll walk back into the darkness as we start. But of course, we will not stay there for long. So I invite you to carve out time for these services as you're able to. Tomorrow we have services at noon as well as at 7 p.m. And then on Easter, sunrise is at 6:30, and then 8:15 and 10:15 will be Easter resurrection celebrations. Lots will also be live streamed, so if you're unable to make it for one reason or another, you can always catch up with the story at some point. Communion instructions are in that bulletin, and we'll be kind of coming forward as we normally do. We have kits in the back, should you prefer a kit, and we have gluten-free and just fully loaded gluten kits. Also, if you come forward, we have a tray of wafers, and on that tray are gluten-free wafers as well in a small dish. So do you prefer a gluten-free wafer, you can help yourself to a wafer in that dish. And then you can pick your glass, whether it's wine or grape juice from the tray, leave your empty glass in the tray provided, and then head back to your seat by way of the center aisle. That'll be communion this evening. And we have a gathering question this evening, too. Al Creighton is preaching tonight, and he has the gathering question for us. And it is, what are you eating for Easter? What are you eating for your Easter meal? Again, we're talking about a meal tonight, too, so there might be some connections. So if you would, just take a little bit of time, talk with each other, and then we'll get back to it. Let's hear some of these Easter dishes. Yeah, Abby. Mashed potatoes. Anyone else having potatoes of some kind? A few. Okay. Yeah, Peter. Lamb. That's right. We get invited to a house that provides lamb. We're not making it. We just get the invitation. What's that? Disclaimer, exactly, yeah. That's it, lamb and potatoes. Yeah.
I make a mean meatball.
Oh.
It's a surprise.
Paul?
Ashbury's is cooking for our family.
Oh, Ashbury's is cooking for the Mills family. That's another great way to do it. Yeah, Sue.
And a brunch is cooking for us at Oak Park.
Nice. I think I saw a hand over here. Oh yeah, Karen.
Yes, who's having ham?
Having ham. Who else is having ham? There's a lot of ham hands going up.
One
Yeah.
of us is excited to have ham and one of us is not.
Ooh. Controversy. Any other kind of special Easter dishes? Yeah.
Well, since we're going to be home alone, I think we're going to grill some steaks.
Ooh. You won't be home alone anymore. Your address is 8 Ambassador, right? Romeoville? That's right.
You bring your own steak.
Bring Any last responses? Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. As we like to say here when we have a gathering question, we hope you either met someone new or learned something new about someone you already know. Friendship pads are in your row. Small black folder. If you want to take them out, sign them, and pass them down. In there are yellow prayer cards. And if you have a concern this evening, please fill that card out, put it into the offering plate, and we'll pray that prayer during the prayers of the New Life family. It is a very good evening to worship. Amen? Amen. The beginning of our worship tonight will be confession and forgiveness. And so the first part will feel similar, and then I'm going to tell you all, you can sit down, and you have the opportunity to come forward for individual forgiveness. When you come forward, if you want, you can come up by the center aisle. We'll just kind of funnel into one line here. You kneel or stand. I'm going to place my hands on your head and offer words of forgiveness, and then you can go back to your seat. And so that'll be the invitation that's coming in just a little bit. All righty. Please stand for worship. Most merciful God, I confess that I am captive to sin and cannot free myself. I have sinned against you in thought, word, and deed, by what I have done and by what I have left undone. I have not loved you with my whole heart. I have not loved my neighbors as myself. For the sake of your Son, Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. Forgive me, renew me, and lead me, so that I may delight in your will and walk in your ways, to the glory of your holy name. Amen. God, who is rich in mercy, loved us even when we were dead in sin and made us alive together with Christ. By grace we have been saved. Amen. You may be seated, and during the music, you're invited to come forward for individual forgiveness.